we have a busy day today here. What the fuck is with this guy here? He came behind me and then he turned around right there in the top of it. Racing here on this road like fucking crazy. He didn't even pick up anything or anything. He just went past me, and right there where you see the tower, he turned around and he spit it again in the opposite direction, basically. And you were able to see that he spit it. What is this fucker circling right above me? I mean, let me explain something. He didn't even go in this direction. This fucking guy came when I was coming out of the village. He was coming from Gorjance area. He was coming from that direction down toward our village where I was heading. That's basically when I came out of our house on the road. He was coming from direction of Gorjance, basically. Now he literally came toward me like this, and then he didn't proceed that way, basically, because he came from that direction. You see, he didn't come straight, but he came from this direction. He came from this direction and did not proceed, therefore, this direction. But he went again like that. It's like he came like this. You know, you saw him right above me. And then what he would do is he would again turn that way, basically. You know, I don't fucking get this. It's like, hello, buddy. How are you? I don't like this motherfuckers because they had nothing. They were a bad news. They had nothing good to tell, really. It was all related to psychiatry and delivering Illuminatis to Novo Mesto from Zagreb, actually from the airport Cerklje and stuff like this. Serbs, that kind of stuff. This, well, up to no good. This Slovenian police, military and stuff. Military maybe, yeah, military was involved in torture too, so they were all involved in torture. So none of these people are really good news. First of all, this house is bugged. Very, very, very bugged. The man who went on to spray with a water hose like this in front of me, he was spraying very, very aggressively. Not back down, but he went right toward me. I deliberately did not want to do whatever the judge with whom he make a deal. This is a local Novo Mesto female judge from Mestne Njive. It's a female from Mestne Njive, black-haired judge with whom he made a deal for this crime here. Demanded from me, while he would be doing exactly what you see right there, and he was spraying literally on the road, for me to also on the road. He was spraying on his side, but it was flying on the road. From me to go and video record him while he's doing this as I pass through. This is the father of the individual who assaulted me at Novo Mesto police station. This also refers to this case here that you see right there. This is the case. He is a father of Luka Vavžik. about 3 months ago, something, over 3 months ago now, this man assaulted me right here in vicinity of his house. I wouldn't do that stuff because I know that this could lead into a whole different kind of confrontation. And just as I stated on my videos, we're talking about individuals who that threatened repeatedly on I don't know how many occasions. And so the only thing I did, I instead proceeded to get away from a lunatic. Just as simple. Nothing more, nothing less. So this guy became empowered after the local judge who was involved in this genocide requested in front of him, in front of me, from him to do exactly as you have seen right here, in order, as she expressed herself, to benefit me. Yeah? She went on to claim me that he will be doing this kind of stuff, so I'm not going to go to the jail. That he will be doing this, in fact, to help me out. And demanded from me to see myself in, the police started to, he physically assaulted me. And, well, I was the one who is accused of assaulting him. This is Slovenia. And I have the proofs about what I stated, actually. And it was not his home, it was a public road on the side of his neighbor. Just like this. Stop, that's it. This issue popped up after I told my mom, just as I described right here in the blog, after I explained my mom about the problem that I have with some kind of infection, shingles, allergy, bacteria, whatever they did with me, which they don't want me to talk about that stuff. This was also a Miran Sodin who claimed that this is with Americans. With Americans, they got a support. They literally got a support from Americans and started to claim that this is due to my cleanliness issues, when in reality it was a police officer either from Pakistan or from India who had, I have no idea what kind of problems with the skin, and where they would continue to deliver me with the Robert Golob, with the Novo Mesto police investigators for over 10 years, agitate me like this so that I would have red stomach during MK Ultra and take his sweat and apply to my sweat. Because this was the man who had this kind of problem. He said, this is not a big deal, this is nothing. This is just because it's hot, because it's a heat. Okay? That's another issue. And so, as animals as these village people are, this guy went on to do exactly as you have seen, based on eavesdropping, based on the surveillance, bugged house. As I told my mom that afterwards I'm going to take a shower, but I have to sweat myself good because of these shingles that I have and stuff. I said it's more important than to take shower is to just sweat yourself really good so these things go out and then you take a shower. I was even asking her for the cream, etc., etc. I have the entire audio recording about this. Then I go out, and then based on MK Ultra scenario, based on MK Ultra brainwash, I see the father from individual who assaulted me, and who does exactly what he promised me he would do. I see a mud here, like dirty stuff that goes. It's exactly what he claimed. It's going to be a mud. It's going to look like this, dirty like this, when he will be cleaning his driveway. Of course, he was not doing this stuff at his driveway. This murderous animal from individual who assaulted me, police I should say, they were using somebody else's house where they did have just as basically house that looked like more or less the landscape that looked somewhat reminded of this one, where it was already asphalted and stuff like that, and he was spraying and he was saying it's going to look like this, it's going to be all dirty and stuff like this. And that, of course, pertains to the psychiatric hospitalization, which Slovenian state, Slovenian police awarded me with in 2012, claiming that I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. So we also have a strong factor of psychiatry involved in this stuff. Eavesdropping, and also what did not even exist at his driveway. This is a newly asphalted driveway here. You get the point. And he claimed me it's going to be muddy like this, it's going to be all dirty and stuff like this. It's going to be like when you will take a shower and stuff like this. As they claimed that I had a cleanliness issues, which exactly were not cleanliness issues. Slovenian police could not make peace with it, that my body was so healthy and clean. This was the biggest problem to the Robert Golob, to the Milan Kučan, was my health. And so they were manufacturing the issues through the people that were involved, even in Pakistan and India. Why would they go for Pakistan and India? Say they have this kind of problems probably also in many other countries. They wanted the racism, they wanted neo-Nazism, and this is basically what Milan Kučan, Slovenian communists, have built its entire case. It is disgusting that Americans have actually taken their side against me and started, and talking about the physicians, doctors, American doctors, physicians, started to support claims that this is because of not my being clean and stuff like this. It's a bullshit. Gave me even a cream during MK Ultra, which told me if it's going to get too big, then you have to go to the doctor so they can give you creams and stuff like that. It's a bullshit. Mount Everest of bullshit. Miran Sodin claimed that this is actually a cancer during MK Ultra. That's an animal who came to interrogate me on October the 30th, November the 30th of 2024, after I requested for additional assistance when filing a complaint against Novo Mesto Police Department. And so he came and ordered an ambulance vehicle to pick me up from Novo Mesto Police Station and transport me to the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. So we have like ultra violence. You know what ultra violence? That's about ultra violence. Lies, organized crime, ultra violence. In continuation here, you can actually see the guy also who brings the garbage. However, this guy did not. You can see him right here. He was dumping the garbage. However, he did not have insultive language. His name is Seničar, a mechanic that I used to use always. Did not use, was much more respectful man, but he also finds himself exactly based on MK Ultra scenario, which involved this guy with the hose to also dump the garbage into the trash bin. It's all the same day. I told you, the eavesdropping, big one. Surveillance of the house, tremendous. The guy that you see here with the helicopter, I did not recall immediately, was rather a nice guy who did exactly as he promised me he would do during MK Ultra as I would be walking on this trail. He flew with a helicopter in my direction, and then he would flew in towards Cercle, down along the river. A helicopter driver who was also coming here to meet me during MK Ultra with the police. This guy here with the tractor, I moved him away so that he could go past a tremendous tractor. He came very politely behind me. He was very polite when he came first behind me. It's interesting also at exactly the same location where this guy started to water hose over there. This is where they had, this is also based on MK Ultra scenario. It's also based on MK Ultra scenario. I had people threaten me with the tractors everywhere with the use of these machines, including on the field behind the house toward the forest. Wow. a big fucking tractor like this, very narrow, and flies through. Based on MK Ultra scenario, and I must say he already did that stuff before. That's what they were doing. They would death threaten me. They would deliver me drugged up to the fields, and I would have a farmers with the tractors who started to threaten me that if they see me walking on their land, that they're going to run me over with the tractors and stuff like this. Okay, this is just about the stuff that went on yesterday. For what went on with the father, with all this stuff here, you get the idea here. I described absolutely everything. They anticipated they're going to destroy me. They caused me enormous damage through the use of father. What father did is very, very, very bad. It's a very, very bad stuff. I don't know how somebody can be so pathetic, go to so much distance when all I wanted to do is basically have peace, help him, help mom, have, life with them and so on, like every normal human being. And these people just somehow cannot slow down, I guess, and be fucking normal. And guess what? They procalculated that for the New Year, for the Christmas time, it's when the people have the biggest psychological crisis and so on. And that's the time when I would definitely crack. And yesterday he tried again, and it just did not work out. As I explained right here, I rather seated myself into a car. I didn't even exchange the words with him. He didn't want to recognize me, know about me when I came. And guess what, man? Rather than asking him questions, as I usually do, I stood up when mother came. By the way, I was waiting for her to call me. My car was parked here. Car was parked the opposite way, not like this, but facing the other direction. I had a problem with a spine sitting inside of the car, for which my mother, when I went to the father, declared herself that I am lying, that I don't have any kind of problems. Weird, because she engaged in torture with the police, and she more than knew about my broken spine. It was exactly mother who claimed that my spine needed to be broken because I don't help at home. She was one of the biggest supporters of my spine be broken by the police, together with the father. So I find it funny that she repeatedly yesterday told me, you don't have any kind of problem, laughable in my face and stuff like this, just looking to fight, looking to have a fight. There was no fight. I didn't fight. At the end of the day, she cried without my having any kind of argument or anything like that. At least she pretended that she did. That was connected to another issue. In a little bit, I'm going to explain to you. As I was sitting inside of the car, the problem that I have is located on the right side spine. So the weight leaned toward this side because this is a driver's side. And if you turn the car around, that is, the car is facing this way, you would be sitting right here and you would be tipped like this. This is a slope like this. It's not exactly even, it's a slope, going up like this. And so if you sit on this side, you will be lean like this. It's going to be pushing or whatever you have the problem on the right side, bulge disc, pinch nerve, whatever the case might be, problem. Big fucking problem. I had a lot of problem yesterday. I put the car exactly the opposite way and parked one like that. I did exactly whatever psychiatrist Peter Kapsch ordered the police to be done during MK Ultra, during lynching, torture, bestiality performed during MK Ultra. My disc spine was already so damaged that I could not even sit inside of the car. That was already done during MK Ultra by the police. Due to pain, I could not even sit inside of the car, just as I explained right now, because it was lean in the, if this car would be in opposite direction here, and I would be sitting as a driver, it would be pushing like this, of course, on my right side, because you sit on this side of the car, yeah, this is a slope. Behind the wheel you sit, and it's pushing right on the right side. The weight is pushing right down on the right side of the spine. Ordered the police during MK Ultra already to turn around and park the car exactly like this. So instead, the weight, right, as you sit in this, when the car is parked in this direction, the weight instead is pushed, rather than on the right side, is pushed on the opposite, this way toward left side. And I found this to be actually relieving. This is how painful it was. So when I delivered mother yesterday to the father, I was sitting inside of the car, but pain was just too bad. And mother knew about this stuff. Mother knew absolutely everything. Mother knew more than police involved in this case. They trained her to act like a police officer, provocateur. You know, like a bully, harasser. I went out of the car and I went here. I was looking for some kind of branch, anything that I could grab and relax my spine. And she had another lady who was involved in it. A woman, and approached me with the black glasses and asked me if I am Boštjan. She was involved. That's funny, because she was involved in Mount Everest of this bestiality at home for elderly people. Not so much in a physical torture than into observation about the stuff that went on. And well, they used her like a medium, like a bridge between me and between them, because she was not directly involved in torture. And said, it's your father and your mother inside of the lobby in that case. They're waiting, they're searching for you. Said, why the fuck? I said to her, thank you. And I had it here. And I said to myself, well, what the fuck would they search me for? This is a telephone. What you do is a very simple thing. You dial the number and you tell me, we are already inside of the lobby. I don't even deserve, for waiting half an hour inside of the car, to be told, like a human being on a telephone, come to the lobby area or whatever. We are down finally. I brought the father, already is downstairs. Not even this. When I came right here out, this is the way they treat me. This is the way they treat me. She waited for me right here, where you see the people here on a bench right there. Stood up and started to yell, scream at me, where are you, where are you, and so on. We're waiting for you, where are you, and this and that. It's, I mean, like an animal. Came inside, father did not want to know, hey, it's a Boštjan, look who is here, it's Boštjan. She told him, she didn't want to know anything about me. He knew everything about my health, how my health is going to be. He knew everything about it, how difficult stuff they were doing with me. He knew absolutely everything about it. He didn't want to know nothing. He didn't want to see me. I see what appeared to be either a social worker or whoever the hell that woman was from in administration area with a big, thick file involved in MK Ultra goes looking at me angry, evil. Remind me on MK Ultra on how she will support as long as she can support and help me and my father, that my father is poor and this and that and so on. But that if she see that I don't follow the footsteps, the order on come here and visit the father all the time and help him out, I will be the one who will be thrown in the jail and all kinds of stuff, shit like this. So that's the only thing they were doing. That's exactly what they were doing. Mother said that father cannot go out because it's too cold. And I had idea it would be nice to go out because it was not such a cold day yesterday. So she says she's going to go pick up something for him, to a blanket basically, that she could give him. And so what I do is I bring him here and I sit and I'm thinking about how I came again, and he doesn't even want to see me really. This is not the way you do with the visitors. I've seen people way more sick than my father and they don't behave like this. And so instead of exchanging, asking him, daddy, 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 how this and that, I'm just quiet, sitting right there till the mother comes. And the only thing the father was doing was moving his head like this, up and down, shaking on that chair, up and down, up and down. So I would feel sorry for him, so that I would, all the stuff that they brainwash me with, question myself and so on, I just disregarded it. When mother came, I stood up. I said, I'm going to be inside of the car, and I went inside of the car. That special that police advertised to my father, who was so happy to hear that they're going to fuck me for the new year. It's going to be around the new year, Christmas. I explained everything on the telephone inside of the car where I seated. That, however, did not stop gangsters, criminals, stalkers. The car was basically parked like this, where I sit, right? Once mother came out, she brought a TV, or based on MK Ultra scenario, where they give these signs, ripped throat, this kind of stuff. Sign. Bully. Threat. MMA. Let's see. This kind of stuff like that. One guy was literally showing this kind of stuff who was involved right there at the hospital. Again, everything that is stated right here, all this thing here, all this stuff here, I didn't even took one video yesterday, but the only thing I did was I sit inside of the car, and everything stated here and much more, I audio recorded. I started to talk based on MK Ultra the way it is. I do that stuff. To have audio record about the stuff, why I acted the way I acted, why things like this, rather than exposing myself to possible police problems, because this is what the father is used for. That's what he was trained together with the mother. I just went inside of the car and I audio recorded this stuff. And again, after the audio recording, my mother brought a TV, also based on MK Ultra. That's your father is already dead. Police, interesting, Božičnik especially, a little animal from Novo Mesto police station, Božičnik, and then Štefanić and Juršić, they all insisted, together with the Zajšek, that it's too bad because this is where it's all ending. It's all ending right there. The whole ordeal, it's ending. It was always during MK Ultra, it was ending. It will be end. This will be the end, and so on. It was never end. Every time when they say end, it was more abuse that follow up, and more abuse, and more attacks, and more attacks. That's the play with the hope. That's how they kill people. That's how they fuck people up. He insists that it's too bad because you could save your father and you will not do that stuff. It's too bad. Right at the end, the father was killed. So you can see how they pressured psychologically for the holidays to just stick around and get fucked some way, somehow. Looking for the conflicts, attack wherever they possibly could. Literally with the guy yesterday, one guy right at the hospital with a beard, giving blue jacket, blue jeans pants, older man, giving literally this kind of sign based on MK Ultra scenario. They would have me inside of the car and he would be stressing to me all kinds of conspiracy issues, paranoia on how they're going to kill the father if you will talk like this. Basically, they anticipated that one or the other is going to happen. Either there will be incident, father would manage to pull out of me, based on which I would get arrested, killed, or I would eventually turn around and sit inside of the car and report about that. And since I did exactly this, they again give you the sign, basically, you're being watched, you're being listened, we listened to you, and the stuff that you said, we told you don't say, not even on the telephone, because they're going to kill your father. This is the way it was during MK Ultra. That's exactly the way it was during MK Ultra. I mean, herds of these animals came out as I was taking my mother home, and that's exactly what they follow up on me. I'm not probably going to get to the hospital by then. So this is the stuff that went on yesterday. As you see, very active. They are active. They don't slow down. They seems like they just don't want to understand that it's up. It's entire city that is involved in this stuff. It's not only about the village, So this is where this criminal was given his signs. They demanded from me, as they would drive me with a police car or whatever they would be driving me with their cars, to literally read signs of the people on the sidewalks with whom they posed. They misinterpreted signs, road regulations, and demanded from me to observe the people. That was a specialty of the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, who was completely obsessed with it. He demanded the lights, to read the lights, like the lights are talking, that kind of stuff, and to observe the pedestrians, the signs they would be giving me, the submental signs. They would be about submental signs. These are absolutely animals. It's not about the police. I already explained to you that we have a bunch of terrorists, animals, absolutely animals employed in there. Terrorists that had nothing to do with the police. It's like, I wouldn't go and say that this is like a Guantanamo torture-like facility, people that are employed in there, or Afghanistan military type of personnel that is employed in there. These are just animals. These are just animals. These are just buffoons that go out there and based on political appetites murder people like this. Simply because they can, and they can do that. I mentioned you British royals here because of the prior arrangements their politicians make with the European Union, with American politicians. And since this is for the Russia, they don't have to worry so much about the Russia complaining about it, or India or China, and etc., etc. That's how this stuff goes. Actually, this is how this stuff went. So, just giving a good explanation about the stuff eventually that you have witnessed, seen. That's exactly what this stuff is. No, I was not going to do this stuff. You can see that he is practically on the road spraying. And really record the idiot to have an incident with him. As the judge alone, the judge from Novo Mesto courthouse demanded from me exactly to do. So this is basically animal atop of the animal. It's basically they just don't want to stop. They just basically attack, use every possible opportunity. Whenever I come out of the house, it's always a fucking incident. I was not walking around for I don't know how many months. I was not active outside. Barely sometimes I would go out. And they are absolutely vicious, using absolutely every opportunity possible to attack. Basically try to undermine. I told you it wasn't about the individual who assaulted me only, but about this man alone who that threatened me, and who was the one also who demanded this type of incident, which derived from his son driving past me to create this type of incident so that I would try to communicate with him, and there was no way to communicate with him. He was just looking for a physical confrontation, basically. That's what this is.